Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
The town council meeting is now 6:36. We're a little bit late getting started and had to meet for new police chief or new police officers. We're happy to have them with us. So if you would please stand and bring the pledge of allegiance. Right back up here. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. President Douglas, would you please give the invitation?
Certainly do so. Let us pray. Father God, as we begin a new year, we give you thanks for your presence in our lives, for your help and your wisdom and your guidance. We thank you for our community, Lord. We pray your blessing upon our leaders. We think especially of our law enforcement, those who are with us tonight. We think of Chief Tramps and Officer Smith. Lord, we pray your blessing upon them as they begin this new year, seeking to do what needs to be done in this community to build relationships and to connect with each other. And we just pray your blessing upon them. Watch over and keep them safe, and keep all of our members of the law enforcement safe, Lord, as they continue to do the work that you call them to do. Father, we thank you for our council members and for our town supervisors. Lord, we pray your blessing upon each one. Help us, Lord, as we prepare to look at what's going on in the community in the coming weeks, months. And Lord, I pray that you grant each one wisdom and guidance. You are the faithful and generous God who gives wisdom to all who ask. And so we're asking for your wisdom and your guidance tonight. We pray these things now in the precious name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pastor, if you would indulge me for just a minute, our town manager is not here tonight, Tammy. She's out of state spending time with a family member who's severely, so if you can keep her and her family member in your thoughts on her, we appreciate that as well. I'm sorry if that's the opposite pastor on you. So now, the next thing we'd like to do is swear in our sword. So if you are here and come forward tonight, we will do that. Pastor Morley, Pastor Bonnie Shively, and Jessica Ortiz. Well, thank you all for coming. More so, I think thank you for volunteering to serve on our board. And, as a member of the ethics board, I hope you don't have a great deal of work. But it is necessary that you have somebody in the there's enough question in the town, then certainly, you will suggestions will be the ones that will review that. So, you saw the chief and the police officer, we're gonna do the same thing, and, we'll be taking, and I tell you, so, it'll be the others. Okay, so if you raise your right hand and repeat everything, please. I state your name.
I, Doug Morgan,
Do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland
bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
support the Constitution and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of ethics for
execute the office of ethics board
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. And this was the day, January 4th, that's the board, name and time. You can do it as long as you want to. It was before. Congratulations. Okay, next, we'd like to swear in our appeals board, and we have Katie Cunningham, Jim Bruce, and Rich Coker. You're here, please. Okay, we're doing the same thing again. I state your name. Do swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And that I will be faithful. Bear true allegiance. To the state of Maryland. And support the Constitution. And the laws thereof. That I will. To the best of my skill and judgment. Diligently and faithfully. Without partiality or prejudice. Execute the office of appeals board. According to the Constitution and laws of this state. Congratulations. Thank you. While they're doing that, just for the record, we do have a full board tonight as, Christina Robinson is zoomed in. She's not here in person, but she is here by Zoom, so we have a full board. for those of you that are serving on those boards, like, we do greatly appreciate it because, it's necessary that we have people to do that. And I know sometimes we have to twist the arms a little bit to people volunteer, but thank you for stepping forward and hopefully we won't need too much. So I would look forward to the approval of the minutes from the last meeting of December 7th, 2023. Have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Thank you. Committee reports, town manager's not here tonight, but Jamie, are you going to make that report for us?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
So we have Kinley Meadows updates, the meters were ordered, and the update from Mr. Baldwin is that we are waiting on the HOA documents to be recorded. If they're recorded soon, they anticipate closing in January. They are still working on an assisted living facility, and there's pictures of that on here. And they've also submitted tentative approvals for the model of the homes, and that's also included in your packet. And then I'm gonna work with Mr. Baldwin, just about the process of reviewing and issuing permits. New computers were ordered for the PD from a crime prevention grant award. And there was a meeting with Lindsay and Brandon and ProStart on 12/14. So we should see an increase in communication and reporting and addressing issues sent by Brandon, and ProStart accepted the offer regarding the NPE fine. And we will have an RFP to be issued the end of March or beginning of April. And as far as utility billing, we are continuing to have meetings and calls with admins and the meter companies. We now have someone with more knowledge taking the case for the meter company, and admins cannot move forward without those being resolved. And then for my report, so, I just wanted to point out that I assisted Dawn with order billing, and we got it completed in 1.5 days, which is like a new record. So things are getting covered with that. And I filed paperwork with the court system for one address to 11 Lawn again this week, so that should be moving along too. That's it.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions about the town manager's report? All right, hearing none, then we'll move on to the town attorney.
I don't have much of an update. We're working with the RFP, running fixed order for this operator, and as Tammy noted in her report, for lead service line inventory. We are going to have to put an RFP out for bids to, through EPA and MDE. There is a lead and copper rule requiring community water systems to submit an initial inventory where all of your public water lines are and the materials of the water line. That has to be submitted by October 16th. And so we're going to issue an RFP for you all to review bids and determine where finances will come to pay for it, and to award bid at some point. So we need to get moving on it because the October 16th deadline.
Okay, any questions for the town attorney? All right, chief?
Hello, just yesterday, we had our thing for our cameras, which, we talked to each other with our body cams and our cameras. They just got involved in all the one control barn. They did a really good job of actually side by side through the whole process. So, very impressed with the quality and the active people. So that's done on the 17th. We'll have our 5 single radios installed by Bluetooth. So that's what the technology side of that. Had a lot of tool checks, you know, the holiday season, like the bigger things. So we did less traffic, but more on the control check side, just to make sure that was it. You're out there, checking on businesses and on businesses, which are really, yeah. And it's been a little good month, so more to get here.
All right, does anybody have any questions for the chief?
He's making the car. Every install, they've actually come here on site, and I want to thank you, Public Works, it was a cold day today. They let us borrow the 2 days, so, they were actually not, in the winter. They do.
So, I don't want to put you on the spot, chief, but I know you talked about marketing the patrol cars. Have you given that any more thought about a design? How you like to do that?
There was talk about it, and taking over the office, it's been a lot, so that has not,
Not a priority, but I was just curious if you given that. All right, great, thank you. All right, from the work, Brandon?
Been last month, we visited your big bill. We actually, this week, we almost got it, and hopefully tomorrow, Monday, it'll be, everything will be cleaned up. Did water shut offs. We didn't have it for 30 of them. We tried giving residents notice, and that actually moved smooth. Some people were very quickly to get a birthday bill. Had over 50 reasons, so we had to get maybe 3. First pickup was 2.5 loads. Did perform a leaf cleanup with the backhaul, see how it worked out, and it worked out pretty good. So we're working with Danny, and we're gonna try to figure out something for 2024 to implement that service. Ordered new eye wash stations for the water tower. The old one falling off the wall, they were outdated, and did a little bit more research on the solution, and then some of them have been outdated for a very long time. So we ordered some, and I got to order some more solutions for the ones that are there, working on that. As stated, we met about first start and put over some units. That's we're working on getting some things done. We had a sewer call out on Brandon Street. We checked out all the beams and everything, all that was good. And we delivered a few more loads in the home. That's about it.
So am I hearing you say that you are getting better communication back and forth with Post Art?
Yes, we have somebody at the plant that is, and basically I came with a little bulk sheet, and we're trying to figure out what's been overdue and what's being done out there. So communication got a little bit better within the bit. So it's been pretty decent.
Good. Any questions for Brandon? Anybody? All right. Community outreach? Oh, I'm sorry.
Brent, I got a question for you. Right there on Vaughn and School Street, the access road, right there, right behind the fences, there's that big pothole there that fills up with water, and the water goes across the road. Is there any way we can put some melons right there in that big?
Yeah, so every time we put the million,
They rain.
and then I was like, well, it's not, I don't really implement it, but that is definitely one of those things that we took care of.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, everybody for Whoville. There's so many people, from the town that was involved in Whoville. I don't want to miss anybody, so that's why I'm just throwing it out here to thank everyone. That was the first time that I went to Whoville. Since it's been started. Before I was sick, I couldn't go, but it was amazing. I came every weekend to volunteer. Rich, I had fun in the kitchen. I had fun with your crew back there. I tell you, they kept me on my toes, and you can believe that.
skip.
You got this one over here too. But thank you all. I mean, it was beautiful seeing the kids' faces, and all the parents coming with them. It was amazing, and I hope we continue to do that for the town. So thank everybody that was involved in Whoville.
All right, thank you. Community outreach, Brandon?
Overall, right into Whoville, we did a little bit better this year. We came out on top. We made some money this year. Made some money for the fire department. You guys made a little bit of money, the nonprofits made out pretty well. We had a ton of people help out this year. We had the same crew every single night from Santa, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus to the Grinch and Cindy Lou and the elves and the helpers and all the kids running and helping with parking and running through the trails and cleaning up the trash afterwards. The public works, dealing with my insane ideas nonstop. Everybody just stuck it out. The police were here all the time, helping us and encouraging families to take cheesy pictures for us and keeping us safe with the EMTs. It went really well.
Did you get a final hit count last year?
Yeah, we were just under 12,000.
Wonderful, great.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's just under 12,000, the exact number.
A lot of people, a lot of people.
Especially, you know, after 3 weekends, I mean, that's 4,000.
Last night, the first record, it was over 3,000.
We had over 1,000 people in the first 45 minutes of the last night we were open.
I just know parking cars, but the people, when they saw the line, clear back in the back all the way around. They got up there and left. Can you imagine the ones that drove away because they just couldn't get in and find that?
We had multiple people come up and tell us that we should start charging per head that they would pay per person of duties.
I don't know, but people donated a boatload of money, but nobody was shortchanging anything, they were throwing 5, 10, 20 in there, like it was, the unique thing is, you guys actually use a clicker, count the extra to keep. Other organizations use a drone and other things, that's guesstimation. So your numbers are accurate compared to others, that are publicized.
And you have one way in,
Exactly.
you can count.
So that
is a good thing.
The good thing.
And like Mr. Bob said, people were completely generous. Not only were they donating at the door for parking and lights, they were continuing to donate to the nonprofits. The nonprofits were making almost $500 a night with hot chocolate and cookies and buying food from the fire department and tipping the booth. And these people were just happy. It was great. It went really well. But the food pantry is going good. We're doing different hours, January through March, just trying different things out to see. Also, we can expect in that way. Brandon and I went to the fire department dinner, ate all their food, stole all their cookies, that was really well. Cool, the price, we got a bunch of scratch off.
As you can see, we're still.
That's covering.
The website, they're saying that the content should be done by mid-January, and then the design should be having a mock-up done by mid of February. I don't know, it's pretty hard to give you a contract with, I'm just hoping for the best there. And then all the dates that you guys have events for in February are probably wrong at this point, because everything's shifted. It seems like, in February, we are gonna start the basketball program. Brandon, Legs, myself, we all sat down or had a phone conversation, had a meeting and planned it all out, secured the practice space, the tournament area, you know, we're local sponsors, so I'm gonna reach out to local police departments, and then Brandon and I are going to council meetings to get other towns involved, because, their kids come to play basketball too, so why not give help? It could be about $100 a kid, so we're looking at about $12,000 minimum to put on this program, so we're looking for all the help that we can get with that.
Were you looking to have a good plan? Did people come watch?
Not during the practices. The tournament will be at Greensboro Elementary School, the last weekend of May, I believe. And then, people can come and watch that, but they will not be allowed inside the gym for, you know, safety reasons at Greensboro Baptist. We have secured April 1st. It'll be the first food drive, that has been done in Greensboro. We're really looking forward to that. So if anybody wants to volunteer, it's the last day of spring break, so the kids won't be in school. We're looking for all the help we can get. Greensboro Elementary caters to 650 families. That's who we're going to advertise it to. Clearly, if somebody else comes, we can't turn them away, but we'll only be advertising to Greensboro Elementary, not to the rest of the county. So really looking forward to that. Christina and I are gonna work on an autism awareness event for April. Canifest has been confirmed for April 20th. They're supposed to be coming out on the 10th and doing a walkthrough with, Brandon, Rich, Covert, and whoever else from the fire department, just to kind of get an idea and map that out. And the car show, and I'll be in at the end of August. I think that's about it.
Okay, anybody have anything for Amanda, any questions? All right, thank you. Fire company,
Yes, sir.
got anything for us?
Uzo. We did rather well in the kitchen. People got to work a lot. Very pleased with carpet, stuff like that on the floors. Maybe want some people just want to pay attention.
Well, we certainly appreciate the fire company. I mean, it's collaborative effort, obviously, to have the event that size and magnitude. And, to have nobody hurt, nobody kidding laws or anything like that is amazing. It's a testament that everybody worked on, especially in the parking lot. I know it had to be a little scary every time people come to the voice. About watching.
That's what it's mild.
I'd like to add to what you guys are saying about the parking there. As one who was out there with them, it was great working with the town's team, parking. It worked out really well. It was extremely busy, but it worked out really well with your crew.
That's good. Good. I would like to congratulate, I thought you were done, I apologize, but while I was on my brain, I want to congratulate all your officers. That's all the recent elections and thank all of you for what you do and good luck to you. And I know you'll do a wonderful thing for your fire.
That's what I was going to mention.
And anything we can do to help you, you know, we're glad to do what we can do.
We're the same way with you guys, you know. We have an excellent working relationship with the town, which we haven't had for many, many years. It's
Well,
nice.
let's keep it going. President, thank you for forming the building.
That's something I do. We had our first building committee meeting last night. Our 100th year anniversary is 2027. I would love to see us at least have a building design, to have something to show to the public. But we had our first meeting last night. With Jimmy Hart, the chairman of the committee. Jim, before report. And we're going to start moving forward. I want to meet with Tammy now, because she felt like there's some grant money out there. So our thing is right now, we need to get the plans ready, so that way there, we apply for a grant, we have plans. The site work's already been done. We did that when we had this all redone. So, and as you may have noticed, our addition is getting put on the side of the building. So hopefully in a few weeks, that'll.
Give you more room in the kitchen, right?
Give
you more room in the kitchen.
Well, yeah, it's gonna get rid of a lot of refrigerator. All the storage. So we look forward to working with the town.
Well, good things are happening.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Anybody have anything else? Fire department?
Yes.
Are you having any more tractor pulls?
Oh, yes, tractor pulls, May 4th, September 7th. We're also gonna do a rodeo, hopefully we're gonna do another rodeo this year. We're just waiting to hear from the promoter as to what dates he has.
What about the carnival? When that gonna be?
That's up in the air. Okay, the reason I say that, in our meeting last night, my vice president, Chuck Toro, told me he had gotten a contract from the vendor, Strong Son. They're going on quite a bit in prices, going, right on week. And it's like $20 a ticket. And if you buy them at booth, it's $30 a ticket. We're not sure the public's gonna go for it.
$30 for one ticket?
Yeah. I'm on this.
Right, all right.
Trace, yeah.
You got 5 kids.
But I'm gonna say, that's what we're looking at, you know, you have 3 kids and you walk up there and you haven't bought free cycle. You're talking $90.
Right.
That's not eating food or anything like that, you know.
Right, what, 3 rides?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's not like we have these huge rides.
Right.
So that's something that we're looking at, so.
Second date for your next school, September.
September 7th.
Is that the polling for the kids or is that?
No, they, Doug Heyman is not gonna move on for business. He doesn't feel it's been beneficial. He's not drawn the people like they thought they were going to. So he decided that he's not gonna do it. That way we're not finding the traffic. And one other thing was, I met with Amanda this morning, and I want to apologize. There was some mix up as far as in the car show deals we're going to be or whatever.
Nope, it's all fine.
Okay, like I explained to man, we don't pick the dates. The promoter tells us what dates he's gonna be here. Well, it just happened to be, they wanted to do the car show on 7th September. So that's what we had to get changes, so.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything from the committee and department reports? Anything you want to add? Anybody? Okay. All right, under old business, fees and fines. I know that we had some questions about this brought up predominantly because of the parking in front of the fire hydrants and some of those things, fines are like $10 or something that was really is not sufficient for the violation. And I know that Tammy has shared some of this information with you. I don't know if you're.
We don't have it in. I got it. Well, it's on the phone.
Okay, you got it on the phone? All right. Well, I looked at some of my notes, and the only thing that I thought that we need really to take a look at was that under our current parking fines, it's generic, it just says parking. And I think that we should separate that and break it down, and then Chief, you might be able to give us some ideas, but, you know, obviously, you know, parking on the yellow, parking in front of the fire hydrant, parking within so many feet of a stop sign in the intersection, those things where we kind of have complaints in town are the ones we probably ought to spell out, and parking at a handicap spot. So, Chief, if you could take a look at those and maybe make a suggestion to the council of what violations you would like to have to be able to issue an infraction for, as opposed to writing a state citation, then we can take a look at those. I do notice that in those, it says first violation, second and third. I'm of the opinion that we would just make it one fine, no matter how many times you do it. If it's a big enough fight the first time, it's a big enough fight the second time, and it's just more bookkeeping for you to say, well, did they get ticketed before, and why write this, write that. For parking violations. Again, that's for you, the council, to decide, just something to think about. I don't know what the fine is currently, Chief, for parking at a handicap sign.
I think it's $75.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it right
For the state?
no, for the town.
Oh, no, I'm talking about for the state. I thought we just ought to mimic what the state does.
So our handicap parking violation, first offense is $100.
I suspect the state is more than, you find that, just to give us that information.
So what I did was throughout the week, I contacted Don, he's the town manager for Denton. Asked him, to send me their list of fines and fees. So he's gonna email them to them. That way, okay, all right. That way we can just look at both. I guess we already have them.
I will give them to you, Jamie, if you want to make these copies to give to the council. Tammy gave them to me, huh? Pardon me? Oh, it's in your packet? Is it in your?
Yeah, I think when Tammy sent it out, Denton, Ridley, and the fine attached to it.
So that's
I
not.
think what you're saying is they did turn it out.
That's.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's what this email.
But I pulled it from the email that was sent, I believe it was prior to last meeting.
Okay, so would you all like to have printed copies of that? So you can provide that. And,
So while you're on the topic of fees and fines, because we're looking at it, are you looking at only increasing the fees to tie them to the state related to parking and traffic violations? Or are you also looking at increasing the fees for like site plan review and building permit review and other planning and zoning requirements? You're right.
I would like to look at all the fees and fines.
Okay.
I think, and I looked at the fees, in Denton, which is like 7 pages long.
Yeah,
So I don't have the knowledge to be able to speak to that. So certainly, Jamie, if you and the staff can put together some input on your recommendations on fines for those things that you think need to increase, whether you take a look at Denton and Ridley or just come up with your own, something that we can see, because I don't know that any of us have the expertise to say what we all be charging.
Based on what we pay out for inspections, it's a big amount.
I think the easiest way is, since you do this work every day, is to come up with a number, you and Tammy, and say, hey, this is what I think.
This is what we're.
fee or
And I know
should
that,
go up to, then bring it to us and say, this is our recommendation, and we can just vote on it.
because Denton has their own code enforcement people, they have like three multiple people, one takes care of.
electric.
They have different areas, one takes care of, the traffic people, or somebody else is taking care of something else, so they have three different people. So that's why I look at their calculation, and it's, there's a lot.
So what I'm hearing from the council then is that, if you and the town staff put together those things and with the chief and come back collectively with something to us, recommendation for us to approve, I think that would expedite the process. That's what I'm hearing? Yeah. If you would pass her on down to her, I think she can put this contact in the next. Tammy can do that. I asked her to do that. All right, anybody else have anything? Lindsay, got anything else on the fees and funds?
No, so I will work with, Jamie and Tammy to start putting together a resolution and update the fines for the next.
I agree. Parking on Academy. Anybody want to speak to that, or? We just move on?
Is this the same thing we've been talking about, the church?
Yes.
Did anybody ever go talk to the pastor? Didn't somebody?
I talked to, I didn't talk to Bob, but I talked to Linda Gary.
But I think it's not just, it is on Sundays because of it, but I think it's mainly, even during the week, there's a car.
This is preschool.
Well, it's not even that, it's the people that live on South Academy down there where they're parking on both sides of the road, but the one car's got a flat top, it's BMW. Sits there tagged, but it's been sitting there, and there's, every now and then, I go by, there's a car parked the opposite way. But it's narrow, so, and if this is the fire department, they gotta get through there. They're not getting through there.
That's the same thing, sure.
That's why I said, we need to put some no parking on that side of the street, whether that, just on that small stretch. Now, during church, like they did at church on Sundays, but you had to talk with Rich because they were parking right up at that corner. But when if there's, them vehicles are there, it's hard for these guys to get their fire trucks through and.
We're gonna lose somebody.
Right,
Tell you that,
right.
As long as we're gonna get a pump.
Well, I mean, I go through there every morning, it's part of my ritual where I go through there, so she, may benefit everybody if you pay that resident visit to talk to them. There were a couple of cars there, one got expired tags, one got a flat tire, and the car had been there for well over 2 months in Arkansas or somewhere.
Yeah, there's Virginia tags on cars and there's been there for a year better.
Halfway down between Sunset and Cedar, Baker, on the right, the house is on the right, if you come off the Sunset, it's on the right. Maybe you can get them to cooperate, volunteer.
It's a two-story house.
Okay, so in the interim, can we just post signs 30 feet from the intersection? You're not supposed to park on 30 feet from the intersection. Can we just post a sign, clear, keep it the intersection so it's open? Oh, Certainly, I think that we could do that anywhere we wanted to, that's within the law.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's better to put signs up, paint, or.
There's no, there's curb on one side, the other side.
Yeah, it does. There's curbing on both sides of that street. Well, the one in Sunset is comes down is level with the road.
Well, I can tell you, tonight I was going to move because I had some crazy and Brandon had painted a lot of my shovel on the hotel. Somebody was sitting right there. I came around, tractor trailer was coming around, somebody was coming by, and somebody's gonna get back. So that makes me, I don't know what they were doing. They were sitting in the car and I looked at him like, you're parked, you know. People just don't pay attention and don't care, I guess.
So what are we gonna do about the parking on Academy?
I mean, how much is it gonna cost us to put signs up? No parking.
We got those, I just checked we got the new parking signs that we put here.
I mean, like, I think we have to talk to them and if we're gonna move them and then post it. Just to keep people parking on that side of the street.
All right, so we got 3 different suggestions, so I don't know who's giving the staff any definitive direction. We talked about having the Chico talk with the house, we talked about painting yellow or putting signs up within 30 feet of the intersection, and we talked about prohibiting parking on one whole side of the street. So, which do you all want?
I would say go ahead and put the signs up, because if we get it,
Which side?
there's no parking sign.
On the whole side?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
but are,
Because the thing is that if chief goes talk to those people and they don't park there and somebody else does, then we gotta send them back out there again. If a fire truck can't get down there, you know, then I feel like we're liable because we know the parking situation, so let's go ahead and do something about it.
Christina, did you want to say something?
yeah, I was just wondering how far down the street, if it's just a problem up there by that particular house in the church, are you gonna run it down the whole street? Or are you just going to do a portion of the street?
Just that portion of the street, because that's the only problem that we have at that side.
I think they're talking between Sunset and Maple on the, would be the east side.
I would suggest if you're gonna do it, and you should do the whole side, because it's not, you're gonna move that problem further down.
That's what they're saying, between Maple and Sunset on the east side.
That whole side, no,
Yeah, the east side.
correct.
What are you gonna do on the side of church?
Just that one block.
Yeah.
We're talking one block.
Yeah, it's telling you there's a problem on the other side.
Huh?
They're telling you that there's a problem on Sundays on Academy Street from Maple to Sunset. But during preschool and the church, from Sunset to Bernard, is the same problem.
Same problem. Because,
Yes.
they park all their cars. And then you got preschool, when they're coming, when they're dropping the kids off, or when they're coming to pick them up, they're all stopping there, and then Sundays in church, everybody's trying to park up there. And if we gotta get a fire truck down there, I'm coming, someone's gonna give them.
I can say, when I come in from Burrsville on a Sunday morning, there's times when I can't make the right-hand turn on Academy because somebody's coming down.
Yep.
So I go down to School Street and come around.
You come up the aisle.
I come up the,
Well, as the pastor of the church, I would be very interested in hearing your opinion if we put no parking in front of the church there on Academy Street anytime, how that would impact your congregation. And then what are you gonna do about the preschoolers? Where are they gonna drop them off and walk those little children to get in that side door? What are they gonna do?
Do they go into Weekly Hall or do they come to the
They're
church?
gonna have a little
Yeah,
sign.
on that side door.
Which side?
But like on days when preschool has, say, they're going on a field trip or whatever, the parents are either, you know, they'll park on one side, but they are using the parking, the church parking.
So the days that they're just dropping off and picking up, they're on there for a short time. But then on Sundays, when you have church,
Church.
they park, the sign says you can park there.
So that's also that handicap as well.
No.
No, I don't think it is.
No.
So what if we do post the signs on the, I guess, the east side, east, west, north, south. Yeah, so Maple to Sunset, post your street like you want to. On the church side, on the same side that you're gonna post the parking on the church side of the street, put 15-minute parking home. That way you got time for kids to be picked up and dropped off. Anything more than 15 minutes, if they have to pick your kids up 15 minutes, there's a problem. But that's a time thing, that's gonna occur in the morning, and it's a half day class.
It doesn't happen during the summer because it's.
Right, so if you do 15-minute parking, then if somebody does bring somebody elderly to church, they can stop their car, get them out, get them inside, come in and move their car.
Preschool's only 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
I mean, it's, we gotta have something that works for all parties involved, right? You got 15 minutes, and in the event that there's a fire, then 15 minutes, for the damage your car down. But I think that's.
I think that's a better solution than
Right.
just prohibited.
Right, exactly right.
Um,
We gotta consider all parties involved.
the people that've been going to church there, have been going there for 50 years and parking there. And they would be highly agitated, I suspect. And then I know that my grandchildren are going to that preschool, and I'd hate to think that they'd have to walk all the way from the church parking lot. You know, just for safety reasons, let alone it's freezing cold and raining and snowing and everything else.
My kids were back there. Instead of parking on the street.
Because you look at the whole, you look at all the traffic in the backyard, that can be used to, the chief can pay them, and just ask.
Well, it's up to the council what you want to do. We've had a lot of discussion. You want to think about it some more? You want to take action on it, or you want to?
We have the action. I think, I like the pizza idea, 15-minute parking right there.
You think 15 minutes is enough to drop off, pick up?
I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's a fair number.
Our trustees are meeting on Monday night. I can take this back to them.
Yeah, I can try to kick in the can down. We can take this. topic for a while.
I mean, out of respect for you and your people you're meeting with, I mean, why don't you talk to them? I mean,
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. Why don't you go ahead and act on the Sunset to Maple tonight? And then allow the pastor to go back and talk about what we're thinking about doing, report back at our next meeting, and then you can decide what you want to do that time. Does that sound viable solution? All right, so then I would be looking for someone to make a motion about the parking on the east side of Academy between Sunset and Maple, have that posted no parking. I'll make a motion. Second. We have a first and a second. Is there any further discussion? Christina? You
No,
hear
I'm
that?
good here. I'm good.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We just want to prepare, we just can't have cars.
Kinley Meadows, HOA documents. Mr. Harrison, would you like to speak to this?
So we just have to.
We have
I know what you were
So,
saying.
we brought them up and discussed some at the last meeting that you all, and the parents were using that in more detail. Because of the covenant of the original HOA document and the agreement between the developer and the town, you all have to have final approval of any HOA document and amendment. All they're thinking to do is to amend their HOA documents, tie in one of the builders and to set the HOA fee of $500. So it really doesn't pertain to the town, but you will have to.
We have to, yes. Part of the covenant, that's what she said. Because we really don't have no business doing it.
No, but the development agreement between the developer, property owner, and the town says that for any HOA covenants, restrictions, and reasons, the town will review and approve them to make sure they're. If the HOA documents were approving accessory dwelling units and the town doesn't allow accessory dwelling units, we wouldn't approve them. It's just that you have a final review and approval to make sure that it's consistent with the town code of code.
So my concern is then, if there's something in there that the residents don't like the fees and so forth, can they come to us and complain and ask us to change them?
No.
We don't have any ability to change them.
No. You have no authority over you're just essentially reviewing the document and saying that the document is not inconsistent with the town code and zoning ordinance.
And then we're not necessarily agreeing with the fees or the bonds.
Correct.
Just
You're approving the form and text of the document, but not.
And I didn't see anything there that was after that. Did you hear?
I'm sure it's been reviewed by planning and zoning.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve.
So I have a motion to approve the HOA documents for in the minutes. We hear a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Water and sewer rates. I'll speak to that, you folks can have whatever you want to say, but I think that there's been this is a significant issue that we need to address, and I think that it has been a fair amount of time since we had this discussion, and I don't know how much the two new council members are aware of all of this, so I think that, I know we need to do this fairly expeditiously, but before we move forward, I'd like you think about having, David Bowie and Fidel come back and give us a short briefing and update on the information that they gave us, because we've received about 15 of these documents showing post rates and with varying numbers of what one applies to which, so it's a bit confusing which one goes to which. And I'd like them to come back so we can have a final explanation of that. I think we have a general working knowledge, but I think we need to fine tune it. And secondarily, that, with the issue that we are having with our water and sewer plant, and in our upcoming budget, having to plan for the money to be able to pay the vendor out there, I think it's important for us to know which one of these three columns, how much income we will be derived from whichever one we pick. So we all know, have a general idea of how much money will be coming in for the upcoming budget to be able to pay the water and sewer, because it's standalone. We have to charge enough through the water and sewer rates to pay to run the plant. Is that not correct, Lindsay?
Yeah,
Self-sufficient, basically.
So,
and you have to account for operation fees to increase the cost of chemicals and your plan to do, but it's,
Yeah, infrastructure.
yeah.
so that's kind of where I am. So, I will listen for your thoughts about it, how you'd like.
So I did go over this several times. You can ask my wife back there at home. I'm at the kitchen table looking over these reports. I know before some of us said option one. Option one was the easiest for the citizens of Greensboro. And somebody said, hey, option one isn't enough. Well, here's what I don't want the town council to do is, if we keep on waiting, I don't want to come, right before budget and say, we have to increase this thing by this much all at once. I think if we go with option one now, it's a small increase. I think it's $15 per household, extra, per family. Then if we have to increase it 6 months, 4 months, 5 months down the road, it seems like it's a smaller increase. I think if we do it all at once, and I know Rich was up here with me at one time, and it's better to break it down instead of giving, a 20% increase all at once. I think we gotta do it a little bit at a time to get that revenue so we can run this plan. That's how I feel.
I agree with David that we do need the vendor, a digital study to come back and speak to us, because we can tweak. And see, I'm option 3. I think we need to build our rainy day fund up so that we can repair the damages that's occurred. There's nothing in this town that's food. I mean, we just last week approved buying pumps and other things because of stuff that's wearing out. And we don't have the money in the system to do it. It's not self-sufficient. So I think we should do option 3, but I think it would be less of an impact on me and any other citizens. If they can come back and explain to us if we change the gallons that are the breakdowns, like instead of 0 to 5,000, if we change those numbers, we could change how much of an increase it is and still build
our rainy day fund or nest day up so that we have something to disturb. But I think they need to explain it so I better understand it. But I don't want a slow increase. And 10 years from now, we don't have enough money to replace the plumbing in one street.
Well, and the other issue we're having is, you know, we've got to pay somebody to run the sewer treatment plant. And it's gonna cost a lot more money to do that. We all know that, whether we hire somebody to run the plant or we have a company run it. I mean, average person running a sewer treatment plant, between $120,000 and $140,000. That's just for one person. That's, I mean, said and done, we gotta do something, but like Joe said, we don't wanna kill, because we're all residents, just like everybody else, but. You know, it's unfortunate that this has come to this, you know. But we know it's coming, but, you know. And I know, when's our trash renewal thing come up, next year? That's 3 years. No, we already had it for what, 2 years now?
No, but we did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's gonna come up, but you know, that's gonna be an increase.
This should be our second, this should be our
So,
second.
and that's all rolled into that also, so, you know, we're gonna be looking at a substantial increase for everybody, you know, that. I'm like Joe, I think we ought to do it, I agree with you, but how do we mediate this, that we're not killing the average resident?
That's why.
Because like, and I'm marrying Brandon as an example, because he does use a lot of water, he's got a lot of people back. I'm sure Amanda uses a lot of water, she's got a lot of people. The commercial residents, they use a lot of water, you know, maybe Jim doesn't use as much, because, or Rich doesn't use as much, like I know, I use about 8,000 gallons, I don't know what's your.
How long will it take, the gentleman to come back?
Well, I think we'd have to have Tammy reach out to him and see what his availability would be. The sooner the better, yes.
Yes, because I mean, if it's gonna be a month or two, you know, that's time that we're not taking in any extra revenue for the plant, waiting to get an explanation or a breakdown. So I think, you know,
No, it has to be a resolution, we have to do all this stuff. It's not something when we vote on it today in the rates building. Right. It's gotta be a process, it's gotta be a hearing.
But if you were, I'm just asking, just because I want to make sure I understand. So are you asking if you guys were to vote yes for option 1 tonight, right? And then you guys started the process of the paperwork, and then you could adjust it later to where you need to, so that families could get adjusted to the increase going up, and you're not
Correct.
smacked it all at once.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you could have a meeting where they come in and show the breakdown and everything. Okay. Yes.
Ordinance. So we say, you can use the plan, you can use the flat fee. You would have to revisit the ordinance and have to change.
Right,
So
but
it's just gonna be a constant thing. The goal was to have the study done, and figure out what best serve everybody. And then introduce it in the ordinance, get it set, and then when we plan on budget, we would know. Now, the unknown is the treatment. So I do agree with David in that. I think if that gentleman comes back and explains it to us, better, what we acknowledge. And we'll have a better idea by then, what do we need to meet? Because at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, it's hard. That's just the reality of it.
So I think, at least for the public to understand, we have two issues before. We started into this to look at, do we want to change the way we build water and sewer? You know, right now, everybody is billed equally, up to 12,000 gallons, and then after that, everybody pays equally. For every 1,000 gallons they go over, except for the people that live out of town on our water and sewer. So that was the study that we're talking about, you know, how the different options that we could do to change it. I'm not gonna go into that tonight, but then the second option is that we have to pay for the water and sewer plant, the people that manage the plant. Right now, the company that is managing it for us is charging us, I hope this will come back and bite me, but less than some other companies that are out there. And their rates are significantly higher than the current rate that we're paying. When I mean significant, I'm talking almost double. The problem is if we go to one of those other companies, where do you generate that extra income? The answer is it has to come from the water and sewer billing. So if you increase your expenses by $150,000 a year, that $150,000 has to come from the water and sewer bills. That's the dichotomy that we face. And right now, we don't know who we're gonna have as a vendor, come July the 1st. We need to know, obviously by July the 1st, we need to know sooner than that for budgeting purposes, so that we know, okay, well, this person's gonna be our vendor, and it's gonna cost us X amount of dollars, so we can figure out if we can pay the bills. So that's the problem that we have. Now, let me ask you this, Lindsay. Would it be appropriate and legal for us to have a workshop with the council and the vendor to come and explain these options to us? We can't make any decisions there. But it might expedite the process instead of waiting to the next council meeting, where we can spend time working with that vendor and asking and throwing numbers around. If we did this, can we get you that? If we did this, can we get you that? And so forth and so on. So that when we come back and talk to the public and have an open meeting, we can explain to them what we're doing.
Yeah, as long as the workshop is open to the public.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would speed it up a little bit as opposed to waiting to the next round.
You figure was March, the RFP goes out. To the plant.
Yeah.
So that's gonna go out in March. So the vendor we currently have, the Jack is price up with everybody else. So we really don't know.
Yeah.
So we do need to work these numbers. Yeah. But in saying that, we need to be fair to all the residents, because I pay water bill, to the person that is only using 5,000 gallons, pay the same amount as the person that's using 15,000 gallons. You know what I'm saying? Because they're actually taxing the water and sewer more by doing that, and I agree, my daughter pays the same amount, I think. Right. She lives by herself. Right. So we have to come up with an equal type of thing that everybody's paying.
But the bottom line is we have to pay the farmer bill.
Correct.
So what I'm hearing from you perhaps is then that, Jamie, could you instruct Jamie to reach out to David Bowen and Fidel and work with the council to set up a workshop where they could come in and discuss the numbers with us, and talk about different alternatives and options and so we could clarify once and for all what these columns are that we're talking about. We always name them one thing. One time and CD next time and all that, and then, so that we can move forward this, because, you know, we probably need to have this settled by at the latest, the second meeting of January.
That's RFP is around March.
Yeah.
Right. He's got in March.
Yeah.
So. Lindsay, you might want to come to that meeting, just to keep us from getting in trouble, plus.
Right.
All right, the council agreeable to that? I mean,
Yes.
Well, that's what we did when Joe said when I was on the council before, on the sewer. When it was getting to go, we knew what we were gonna have to be making. And we knew that the rates were going up, and that was my thing. Why can't we do it in 3 increments? That way you're not telling some of your bills going from 180 to 360.
So let me understand what you're trying to say then. So the first billing that comes out March, April the 1st, would be X amount of dollars.
Yes.
Then the next billing would be a little bit higher, and then the next billing would be a little bit higher, or whatever, until you got to the number you need to have.
Before that plan was built.
That's how.
That way there.
And that's a wonderful way to do it.
That way there.
Generate enough revenue at the end.
Get down with that $180 increase all at once,
But I
got an incremental.
Right, but I think like we have the options, I think we still need to figure out, are we gonna still keep it at the 0 to 12, or do we do a 0 to 5?
5,000, 5,000, 10,000.
Right.
Yes.
This might be a dumb question, because I have a lot of dumb questions. But would it help any, how much trouble would it be if you separated the trash bill from the water and sewer bill? So it's not part of that bill, because everybody thinks that that's what they're paying for water and sewer, but the $49 is in that same
Well, they'll also see the fifteen
Yeah.
down, very reservation.
No.
Right, we don't control that, that's.
I know.
I agree with the incremental increases. I would like to know how far it's going to have to be increased. So I'd like to know which option we're picking and then slowly do the increments over the next three billing cycles. But again, I'd like us to decide on how much that number is to get the plan operational and to put some away for the reserves. Cause I don't want it to increase, $50 this month, then $75 and not know where it's ending. So
I think, Christina, that's what everybody's saying. I think that we might tell them, okay, eventually your bill is gonna go up a double digit number. But it's gonna go up $100 a year, but the first quarter is gonna go 25 more, the second quarter will go up another 25, and the third quarter go 25, so the final bill will be even. Does that answer your question, Christina?
agreed, yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, anybody else have anything else for water and sewer? Last call. I'm supposed to. Cannabis regulations discussion, Lindsay.
Yeah, so we discussed this some at the last meeting, and, I think this meeting, we were gonna look at specific districts within your zoning ordinance and where we want these types of businesses to go. So kind of preliminarily, we discussed that there are dispensaries, growers, processors, and on-site consumption. On-site consumption is the only one that you have the authority to prohibit, as long as it's within your zoning regulations saying that it's not permitted. The others, you have to use essentially reasonable zoning regulations, so that you can't zone them out, but you can put them in, particular locations based on size requirements, or put them with similar types of uses like pharmacies or greenhouses or other retail or commercial uses or warehouses. So some of the ones that I had kind of looked at were you allow commercial greenhouses in certain zones, in the R3 and special exception, in the highway commercial it's permitted, and in the light industrial is the special exception. There are manufacturer and production uses both in the industrial, which are permitted, and then manufacturing and heavy, which would be only in the I2. So I don't know if you will have specific areas in town where you consider these types of businesses where they would maybe be appropriate or you feel the most appropriate, or if you put any thought into the particular zones that they might be most appropriate for.
Well, I remember, years ago when we were talking about the other company that was coming in, we were gonna put them out there at a sunset, right there in Bonbons. You have the industrial park right there.
Yeah, so that was I believe that was a medicinal growing facility that didn't end up getting delayed. But I know we had looked at that as being one of the appropriate locations, which would be consistent with manufacturing and production uses, manufacturing heavy, both permitted in industrial. With the dispensaries, it's more of I look at it kind of as a pharmacy or retail, depending on, and in addition to zoning requirements, there are state licensing requirements. Not only did it have to apply for the license and obtain it in the state, but there are security requirements they have to meet, there's minimum and maximum building sizes, lighting, square footage related parking and fencing. So some of the businesses are going to be essentially zoned out just because of the size of lots within town. But it is important that you get something within the zoning ordinance, because right now, it's nothing.
I think that the industrial park out there,
It's the only place.
is the only place for manufacturing. The dispensaries, I would have them be subject to the same restrictions that you were getting an alcohol license. If it's legal in Maryland to sell it, then, obviously they couldn't consume it there, but yeah. But same
Yeah,
restrictions it would be like for an alcohol license, we have those or zoning, if that would be consistent, we could say that's why we did it. And then if any industrial would go after we really don't have any other option or property.
No, and then you have to decide the on-site consumption, whether you would want to prohibit it or limit it to a certain district, and the on-site consumption would be like a, no, wow.
No, I think on site
We do just
I
that.
would want to, I would prohibit that, yeah. For now, 20 years now, something like this.
When the town expands, or maybe.
Okay, so I mean, I can kind of take that discussion and turn it into a zoning ordinance, defining these types of uses and where they would be permitted, and then you can tweak it at your next meeting, and then.
Wouldn't, planning and zoning have anything to do with that too? Would we have to run that by them?
Yeah, so, generally, the way that it works is you all would direct me based on this conversation as to where you are thinking you want to see the types of businesses. I would draft something when you're ready to introduce it. After introduction, you send it to planning. And then they would review it, offer any comments, recommendations, and send it back prior to the public hearing.
Christina, do you have anything to offer? I don't want to exclude you from this conversation.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. You're down there where it's warm, right?
It was earlier today. It's getting chilly now.
All right, so am I hearing you gentlemen are still here, that's what you want to do? The industrial park would be where the medical park would go, and that if they were going to open up a place with a dispensary, they'd be subject to the same guidelines with any client selling alcohol. Christina, you good with that too?
Yeah, I agree with the industrial park. Continue.
Keith, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know, it's. Kind of a different topic.
Well, it's something different for you to do, so I understand.
Yes, I guess I agree, you know, the open smoke lounges, I don't think it's a good idea. You know, if people wanna consume, they could do it in privacy of their own homes or, you know, in their yards, but I think out, the public could set a bad, example, so.
All right, thank you. Anybody out there have any thoughts on it? Okay. Anybody else? Last call. All right, new business. Anybody have anything under new business? Town council remarks. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a question.
What's
What's going on with the place out where the grain managed to be, where that guy had no right cars?
We're working on a business license with him. That's what we're at. He's been fine.
Thank you for reminding me that. I have a question. for you. Since I haven't signed in from him, can we require him to put up a chain link fence? Because I think it is a health and safety hazard for those cars to be out there. I don't want to issue him a permit to allow those cars to sit there like they've been doing for the last 9 months. Where any child or animal or anything can get in and out of those wrecks, because that's what they are, you know, at least if it's fenced in.
You can't right now unless your zoning ordinance requires that specific type of business to have it then.
Well, what is it?
Yeah, what is it, it's junkyard?
How is storage?
When,
So if it's considered a junkyard, has to be fenced.
It has to be. It has to be best that you can't see. The Eagles had to do that. Yeah, they have to put a fence up. If it's kind of like a junkyard, you can't be able to see through the fence. It has to glare off the glass of the mirrors.
No, it's not gonna do his.
Yeah. It's considered a junkyard or salvage yard, but they're going in there and auto storage, but if they're wrecks, it's a junkyard.
Yeah, so where do we find the verbiage, or where the law allows us to read it? 'Cause I don't know.
yes, and we're gonna have to look, I haven't seen the business permit application, so I have to look and see what he's saying, the type of uses on the permit application and see if it actually applies to what he's doing there, because there are a couple of uses that are special exceptions, that when we first looked at it, I thought it fell into, so it wasn't a permitted. So,
Well, we could change it.
you can amend the zoning ordinance if you want auto storage and other types of facilities, particularly auto storage of salvage vehicles,
That's the key word.
to have a fence.
If it's a functioning car that runs, that's
Right.
auto storage, I don't have a problem. But if it's a junk.
Yeah.
Which it is, then it has.
And it sounds like they're trying to,
The plan, like, it works.
yeah,
He told me on his own map that his plan was to put them on containers and ship them overseas and sell them overseas.
Yeah, he told me he's storing them and then he ships them out,
Yeah.
which they have not wrapped.
Yeah,
so.
no, they've been there for 9 months.
With weather, and probably can get the ship off the river.
You know, right across the street, we just signed a permit for someone who has a towing business and they got.
And it needs to be a ton necessary.
Is that where the double wide is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chain link.
Yeah.
well, I'll look at the building permit, we can see if we can require a site plan or something that would trigger a planning commission review, which could then trigger a fence of some sort, or shut it down.
And that permit, is there a way that we can review that? I don't know why they have the chief of police on
I
it.
know, sorry.
Used to be for parking.
They always.
It's a business permit. So he has to look at it and say, well, we're gonna have to put that in business, is gonna require a lot of people, it's a parking issue, we're gonna have to issue that with enforcement. I thought we need to mention. That's what I was told years ago when I was a police chief.
Yeah.
Because I asked the same question, as to why do I have to get involved in this, but the big issue is Sunset or Main Street. Like that little place on the corner when different businesses want to go in there, some of them are stuck because they're not that.
Okay. All right. Town Council Mark, Christina?
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to say congratulations again to the chief. Thank everyone for everything they did in Whoville. I did take Jonah to sensory night. I met a family that drove all the way for sensory night from Baltimore. It was just a good time, and you know, I know it takes a lot to put that on. So thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I don't have.
I want to thank everybody that took the time to set all this up, did all the IT and wiring and stuff. You guys had other things to do with your time there. So thank you for that. Congratulations. I haven't seen the turnout that we had. Congratulations, Officer Smith. I only knew you as Jake for state. That's it. Good night.
Does anybody from the staff have anything they want to add or bring up? Anybody from the
I
public?
do. So Brandon helped me while Denise was out, we're trying to work together and fill in the enforcement. So he helped me the other day and went out for fixes for me and there's enough. So it's being worked on. We're just working on it.
Anybody
Well,
from
me work makes the dream work, right?
anybody from the public?
It was helpful, very good.
All right, so, yes, I'm the last one, and Joe stole my thunder a little bit. But Whoville was quite the event. I want to thank everybody that participated, everybody that came to it. It was a lot of time and effort, but I think it was well spent. I think Joe said it best when you see the kids face light up when they go through it. It was really worthwhile and so. Thank everybody. All right, nothing further, then I will look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion for you.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We'll move.
Bye.
See ya.